How's it going? Alright, so I will give you alternative. Um, if you have any questions, you want to understand some topic in detail, use For Dummies series. That's it, alright? Because I watched this, I don't know who this Jay Shetty guy is, right? But he got exposed and he was portraying to be like some kind of expert, but I don't know what happened, but whatever. But anyway, long story short, like right now there is a big problem on the internet, and that is that it's it's unregulated space. Anybody can put on a lab coat and start telling you that they are the doctor, that they are an accountant or whatever, that they are accredited, but they are not. So you don't, like, for people who struggle to understand what is truth or what is not, what is credible or what is not, just use For Dummies series, and that's it. So let's say, I don't know, you want to know, I'm in my pajamas, I'm in my bed, basically. Not in the bed, but in the, I have like this gigantic chair which is like super comfortable. Once you sit on it, that's it, you don't want to get up. So I'm not super fast at typing right now. Okay, so what are we looking for? We're looking for real estate investing for dummies. So, as opposed to going online, listening to some podcast who is telling you that, hey, you're gonna become a quadrillionaire if you invest into his course, just go and get Real Estate Investing for Dummies book. For Dummies. That's it. You want to know what cryptocurrency is? You go, you get a book. Cryptocurrency. Again, you see, you go, you get the book. There it is. Cryptocurrency investing for dummies, okay? Now, a lot of the times, I'm not sure about today, but that's how we did it in my, like when I was super small. For Dummies was like the books usually you could trust. Honestly, I haven't met, I don't know about today, but every single book I read was always good. For Dummies series, it was always credible, well referenced, and the authors were they had your interests in mind. They weren't like, oh, you know, it wasn't like a funnel where if you go to, I don't know, these podcasts and there's like, he's selling you one thing, then you buy into his course, it's another course, then there's advanced course, then there's master course. They're just milking you for money. Whereas this stuff is actually trying to educate you in that field. So just use For Dummies, I suppose, alright? So kind of that's my core. That's the core of this video, is just, as opposed to watching the podcasts, because I'll give you the flavor, I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, one of the problems, like I was watching the, so the first part of the video is just use For Dummies. If you have a question, use For Dummies, and that's it. Use the For Dummies book. They are normally very easy to read. They're not very long. And they're cheap to get. They're like 20 euro or I don't know, 10 euro. You can get it in second hand. And you know that you're not getting sold BS, because this podcast here, I mean, they talked about it a little bit about problem on YouTube is it's just a bunch of salespeople basically trying to sell you stuff. And these salespeople are very good at establishing themselves as authority. Like scientists cannot do it. Like if you watch how these guys talk, how they reason, I'm gonna link this in the description below so you can see for yourself. And then compare them to these guys, let me show you. Where was it?
In the industry that I was previously associated with, which was large life insurance.
Listen,
If the database that I had access to could see the light of day, it would upend modern medicine in a way that would be catastrophic.
Oh my god, conspiracy!
We could tell the insurance company how long you had to live to the month.
Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, the insurance companies are so smart they can tell you to a millisecond how long you're gonna live for. I'm making fun. I hope you understand that this is not real. Okay, it's just some made up shit, you know.
Human biologist Gary Brecka.
He's going to make you superhuman. We know that sedentary lifestyle is the leading cause of all-cause mortality. You're breathing.
Yeah. So they know exactly what causes mortality. This guy here is an expert, okay? And his conclusion is that
breathing in that repetitively expired air, dropping that oxidative state. You're making the blood more hospitable to disease.
Okay, so he's telling you that he's a leader in mortality, and his conclusion is that recycled air is what's killing you. Like, I be honest with you, if you put like guys like this, myself, computer scientists, other scientists into a room and say, hey, come up with a product to sell to people, I promise you none of us will come up with an idea of selling the idea that the leading cause of mortality is expired air. We just cannot think like that. I'll tell you straight up, because it's just like, I have no idea. How can you even come up with an idea? Like, how can you come up with a concept like this? Recycled air, expired air. Like, holy shit! You see what I'm saying? Is that, and these guys, and this guy is so popular, it's insane. Like, look, 2.6, and like this guy is like a leading expert on mortality. But you see, like, they are very, very good at appealing to simpletons. Like, scientific community has zero chance against guys like this. Just absolutely, we have no idea, because we're gonna pull up Harvard research. We're gonna tell you, oh, you know, based on such and such scientific research, sample size was 5,000 people, which is a credible sample size, and we concluded that 99.9% of air cannot actually be expired because it's a molecule. You know what I'm saying? But this guy's like, yeah. So you see, they're concluding that air is recycled. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not certain. Because scientists always hedge. Because there is always possibility. I mean, there is possibility that a bag of money is going to drop from the sky in your hands right now. But is it probable? Unlikely. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just how scientists kind of trained to think. But this stuff is like expired air. I honestly, I was like, when I heard it, I started laughing for like 2 minutes, but then I realized, like, holy shit, somebody's actually watching this and be like, oh, expired air, oh my god, it's why I'm aging. It's nothing to do with DNA making. Well, I'm not gonna get into the aging process, but it's like, oh my god, expired air. To me, it's funny, like shit that these guys come up with. It's like, another one was I was watching this guy, Chris Norland. I think he was debunking this some kind of a day trader or this guy investor, and man, this guy was like, yeah, you need to buy Google, Apple, I think, and Tesla or some stuff like that, right? And then he's like, yeah, and then you need to short Nasdaq. I was like, wait, but aren't you just buying the same shit and then shorting the same shit? So you're practically not accomplishing anything. And you know what I'm saying? Like, they come up with solutions, and this somehow appeals to the simpletons because I have no idea why it works. To be honest with you, it's like it's very. That's why I'm kind of fascinated by. Like I'm fascinated by people like Elon Musk, for example, or the guys like this guy here, is because like they understand the simpleton mind so much better than I do. It's just it's like I wonder how the brainstorming process works. Do you know what I mean? Because when I do brainstorming, I usually think, okay, so what's a credible source of information that I want to present? So you see, like I come up with stuff like, you see, these guys here because they are credible. I would not come up with an idea of, for example, of interviewing Will Smith for a hot pop star for a medical topic, because what the hell would this woman know about medicine? Or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Look, there's Arnold Schwarzenegger in his podcast on how to become successful. Or I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I would be thinking to myself, okay, so let's say we're trying to get a person motivated to do something, right? So let's say, I don't know, he's struggling to do study, but he wants to study, but he's just struggling to do it because it's so boring. So I would immediately think to myself, alright, so that person's brain is not producing enough dopamine. That's one of the problems I can see, because some people, they can go through studies no problem because their brain just produces too much dopamine and whatever, right? It's not a big problem for them. But for some people, their brain is just not really producing that much dopamine. So okay, so I'm thinking, how can he supplement dopamine deficit as a result of study? And I come up with solutions. Okay, what are the what substances or what things produce dopamine? So I come up with things like, you know, Coca-Cola, sugar, caffeine, and that are not very harmful. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I do research, I do costs analysis, and over time, I come up with a kind of like something that is useful and might work. It doesn't guarantee it's going to work because, I mean, not everybody gets high on sugar. Some people don't get anything out of caffeine. Some people like tea more. And I make a list of proposed solution, which is kind of like Triforce. Do you know what I'm saying? There is a lot of different variants in there. And it would never come up to my mind to go and call Justin Timberlake and be like, hey, how can a person study? How can a person study mathematics? How do you encourage a person to study mathematics? Because I can't imagine what Justin Timberlake could be like, sure, dude, I didn't study myself, so what the hell would I know? And here he is on the podcast for 2 hours telling you how to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? While he himself has failed to do it. So you see, like, but these guys know how to sell to you. I mean, they just know. So, like, we are just like a scientist who are just so outgunned in a way. So that's what I'm saying is that, okay, if you guys want entertainment, I understand. Like, go and watch this, you know, a hot celebrity talking about how you can become healthier and happier, even though she's a pop singer, right? But if you want credible information, I'm talking like you want to really understand the subject, and you don't really know how to do due diligence to understand whether a source is credible or not, you just use For Dummies series, and that's about it. Okay? Because this guy, holy shit, he was charging $7,000 for a course on how to become like a life coach or some shit like that. And it turned out he's not even... The credentials that he was given, that he has, don't exist. Like, they just don't exist at all. Oh. Anyway. That's my rant for today. For Dummies series, okay? If in doubt, for Dummies series. And if you have questions, you can always reach out by email. Alright? My email is, let me find it 1 sec. Yeah, so you go to, you can get in here, you see. So I think you click in here, submit, and then you get the email address. Oh my god, 1.2 thousand videos. Oh my god, it's been such a long time now. I'm sitting in this one. I'm just showing off. 1 sec. Yeah, this one here. Very, very comfortable. Very hard to get into, but I didn't buy it. It was just available in the shed. I found it because one of the neighbors moved out and they left some stuff. So my one is literally the middle one. This one, without the footrest. No, it's actually it's basically blue. Pretty good, I have to say. Pretty good. Very relaxing. Because one of the problems I had was like you know, sleep like in the bed, you want to sleep, but I was watching movies in bed, so sometimes my brain would get confused. What am I doing? So I was watching a movie, I was falling asleep, and I was like, I had to stay awake, and that transitioned into forming a habit where I want to fall asleep and my brain would just wake me up thinking that I'm watching a movie, but I'm not. I'm actually trying to fall asleep. So that's why they tell you, you know, they recommend that bed is only for sleeping. If you want to work, you need to have a workstation, so that is your second location. And then if you want to relax, you need to have some, I don't know, a couch or something like that, which is your relaxed location. Does that make sense? So your brain doesn't get confused, so that you know, okay, like it could be like some people say, oh, I'm struggling to fall asleep. It could be coffee, or it could be that you habitualize your brain to, if you like me, for example, watch movies on your bed, your brain doesn't know what you're trying to accomplish, you know. So you can't build nasty habits if you're not aware of what you're doing. So you see, now I have bed for sleeping, my chair, which is a errand chair for working, and my desk, and then now for just relaxing is this this thing here. And that's about it. Alright, take care, bye bye. Anyway, what was the lesson? The lesson was for dummies. So if you want to get familiar with the subject, use for dummies. That's it. Take care, bye bye.